Why did I choose fish as a pet? Well, to understand that, we have to understand me. So I actually started the aquarium hobby when I was around 13. But the reason I started it wasn't to just own a pet. It was to make money off of something. And it took me a while to really understand what I liked in the world, I guess. And I realized I just like selling stuff. I mean, I realize that now, but then I was just trying to look for a place to enter the world of business. The reason I got into the aquarium hobby was actually because of my dad. He wanted me to be able to get into the world of business because he saw that I was interested in it, and I was suggesting a bunch of different things, you name it. Anything you see, you've seen a video on or whatever, I've probably thought about, had an idea about doing or dabbled in it at some point. But one of the big ones I wanted to try was having goats and selling the goats for their meat. But goats are pretty, like, if you change your mind on goats, there's a lot you gotta take down and get rid of. My dad didn't want to get stuck with having a bunch of stuff to throw away and left with the goats to feed and maintain if I, change my mind. He suggested I get aquarium fish, and I didn't really think about it as a way to something I could sell, but the more I learned about it, it seemed like a pretty decent idea. Now, my dad already had a 20-gallon tank. It just had like a Plecostomus in it. It used to have a shark, but and this 20-gallon tank is where I kind of first started. And I went to a big brand pet store. I got me some guppies. I put them in the tank. They did pretty well. They started producing fry over the next few months, and I even got these. I mixed like some type of blue mosaic guppy with some green guppy with some green on it, and it became like this really cool. Its tail was split, and it had blue on top and then like green on the bottom. And I wish I would have called them like Seahawk guppies or something. Probably would have got way more money for them. But they were really cool looking fish. That's how I started. So I just had my 20-gallon tank, and I had a few guppies in it that were producing some fry every month, because there's a really good female guppy that was just a great mother and produced a good amount of fry. It was like 15 fry per month, which is pretty decent for that size fish. I had to learn to sell them, and the first place I went to was eBay because it seemed like the easiest route. So I made an account on eBay. I had to get help from my dad because I couldn't have an account, so I had to basically use his account and all that. And I started selling aquarium fish, and I watched a bunch of videos how you ship them and everything, and it was super nerve-wracking at first, but I wanted it so bad to make it come true that it wasn't even really a thought of doing it or not. So I started bagging up fish the same way I bag up any kind of water source, which is I seal it. I was using rubber bands back then, but now I seal everything, and I mean, it's pretty tough, pretty durable, so nothing leaks in the bag. And UPS or USPS, actually, they kind of like people selling live animals. I mean, they don't really like it, but it makes them a good amount of money, so they support the whole thing. If you even look on their site, they have a section about it. They talk about it. Anyways, so I was starting to sell fish, and one of my first orders in the South somewhere, it was like Florida. It was like in Florida or Texas, and it actually became a pattern of where people bought from. Because if people buy tropical fish, they're pretty much most of the time they're going to be in the South or East Coast. I don't know why it's like that. I guess because of the heat, more tropical, easier to keep them. But yeah, the majority of orders were coming from the South. So I started shipping fish and started making a little bit of money that way, and it was pretty inspiring, I guess. I learned, okay, something is possible. It's possible to do something, and I feel like that was the biggest lesson, because with anything you need to know if something's possible before you start putting way more effort into it. Like it's like if you have a rock and you want to move the rock to a certain location. Well, you're probably not going to try that hard to move the rock if you know it's not possible to move the rock. But if you move the rock and you push all you can and it moves an inch, then you know you either have to put more effort in or find a better way to move that rock. Because it will get there if you find a certain way to do it. It's just something. It's a puzzle, and humans are great at solving puzzles. As I was selling fish, I started just falling in love with the aquarium hobby. It was super relaxing. It's something I would just sit and watch my tank for a few minutes or even an hour sometimes, just for my anxiety, and it was just nice. It was a nice way to get my mind off of something. I'm very much a person that lives in the minds of other people or other things in general, so I'm always trying to figure out, what is this person thinking, what are they going to do right now, or where they're going next, I'm always trying to figure out their motives, why they're feeling a certain way, and what they're going to do about it. And I'm always stressed out about that in crowds, because I can't think like that with a bunch of people. So an aquarium, I could just live in the minds of a fish, and a fish is a lot more simple than a human. So I just, that fish is going to get some food. Oh, it's going down to see what's in the gravel or whatever. And it just was way more simple, and it got my mind off anything else I was thinking about, in a way that games really haven't matched. At least in my experience, they haven't fulfilled me as much, like getting my mind off things and relaxing. So I just started falling in love with fish, and I knew that I would keep fish even if I wasn't just selling them. I knew that they were just a good pet for me. Again, great for anxiety. I don't know if that's for everybody, but I've never heard someone getting stressed out about their fish. Well, I shouldn't say that. If they're like dying or something crazy happening, which comment below if you have fish dying or for whatever reason. Comment below. I can't tell you, oh, you should add tonic E to the filter during the night so you can get I don't know chemicals and stuff like that, but I can tell you how to fix the problem, most likely. Doing simple stuff. I feel like simple is the best way to do things. At least for me, I'm horrible at understanding complex stuff. I mean, I can get to complexity with learning stuff, but I feel like I make the dumbest mistake with stuff. If you give out perfect directions, I'll find a way to mess up your directions. So it took me making a lot of mistakes and learning from those mistakes to learn how to fix problems. So again, if you have a problem, comment below. I'll try to see what I can advise you on. And of course, I don't know everything, but the majority of problems can get solved pretty easily. Anyways, so I just grew to love fish, just from wanting to sell them to realizing that they were great for my anxiety, and they would make my week whenever I'd see new fry in the tank. Just seeing new and more fish just pop up out of nowhere was such a nice and cool thing that it made my week. I remember one time I even got like in trouble when I was younger, and I didn't even care because I was like grounded or something, but I was good for the week on happiness just because I saw more fish in the tank. And yeah, it's powerful. It was powerful, at least for me, for fighting anxiety, because it's something I can't get rid of, but I know it can get really like tamed if I work on it, and that was a great way to get my mind off things and stop overthinking. But if you're still here and still watching my content this far into the video, I would say subscribe, because you probably found value to spend your time this long watching the video. And thank you for even spending your time. Thank you a lot. It means a lot. So yeah, make sure you follow, make sure you like. I'll try to make more videos that are entertaining and informational or educational. If you have any recommendations for a new video, drop them in the comments. That's about it. Have a good one.